Hey Leo, what's up? Welcome to your guys' reading. So let's just get right into it. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy birthday. We're in Leo season. I hope you guys are all having some fun, mixing some good times into the crazy times. Okay. Messages for Leo, please. What does Leo need to hear? Queen of Fire. All right, you're coming out pretty strong, Leo. Coming out in your own energy. With your shadow side present, everything makes sense to be there. Some of you guys could be walking barefoot a lot lately. Kind of wearing like clothing that really stands out there. Maybe kind of having more of like a primitive feel to your home or your spaces. Maybe that's even visiting somewhere where there is a more primitive way of living or something. Maybe this is also just simplifying things. Let's see. Wow, the cards are just like kind of jumping. Maybe you feel like you're jumping a lot. Okay, we'll keep that there. I don't really know how to take it. Let's put it back, and if it comes out, great. And if it doesn't, great. It's not, we don't need to overcomplicate it. I just don't really know where that card would go. Because it was out, I'll use it to influence the Queen of Fire or the Queen of Wands energy. You might be making very conscious choices to move forward with your shadow side present, meaning like being able to talk about things openly, being able to just be yourself no matter what, like no matter the discomfort, just trying new things in your own energy and seeing what comes back. You might just be heavily in that energy right now. Okay, right now, Leo, you guys might have some disagreements in your home for whatever reason. You might have some kind of more tense or challenging aspects regarding your home. Maybe financial stability too. This actually has the image of someone being puppeteered. So I wonder if some of you guys feel like someone's trying to control you, or someone wants you to have more control over yourself or something like that. And it just doesn't feel great. Especially this energy doesn't get puppeteered. Like, I don't know who thinks that they would successfully puppeteer a Queen of Wands, but it ain't happening. It ain't happening. So I just get that sometimes it feels like that, but ultimately I think that's kind of you overcoming that challenge, coming out so strong in that energy. In your thought space, you have the Three of Wands. Let me actually see what it says for this Three of Wands in this book, and that would be a good time to also pull an oracle card. Got someone like riding real close to the water there in a hot air balloon. Maybe your emotions have been running fairly hot recently, like very intense lately. Three of Fire. A hot air balloon. Ooh. Picture time. Sorry. I always try to capture the stills when I'm in the reading now, because why does it look darn? Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. Wait. Okay, I wonder if I got it. Because it's easier to do that than to go back and find in the video where that is. I don't know why I'm telling you that, sorry. Oh, I was holding it up so that I could read this. A hot air balloon with colors gleaming brilliantly from its fiery internal burner soars high above in the night sky. Oh, so it's not above water. It's like above mountains. That makes sense. Huh. Why can I see that better on this than on here? Art. Sorry, while I lose my mind and try to find it again. Hold on. This is how I feel this week has been. This entire week while I've been trying to get over a sickness and like kind of nurse my kid through whatever he's going through. Man, sometimes I'm just like, you know, I need to sit my brain down, and we need to have a long conversation about how I really would appreciate if it would just come with me wherever I go. Its sole occupant, privileged by his vantage point, looks calmly towards the horizon and the approaching sunrise. This card focuses on the long view and gaining perspective. Threes in the minor arcana are cards of action and creation. This card naturally develops the themes of preparation, intention, and decision described in the previous card. The concept of flight, as depicted by the balloon, represents courage and enterprise as plans are put into action. A voyage or travel, expanding horizons, the initial steps of an enterprise or project, taking action and looking into the future, increasing vision or understanding. Okay. So you're still in you've got lots of fire energy here moving towards something, and it seems like it's actually outside of your home. Maybe that's just outside of your home, or maybe that's like regarding concepts that don't really have anything to do with your family dynamics and stuff, like especially a challenging one. Okay, you have the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Fire for where you're just coming from. I wonder if you just left a job that was kind of not great for you, or if you're kind of chugging through a job and it's giving you some not great, energy right now, and it's feeling kind of draining and burdensome, and you're just trying to push through it. Others of you, this might be that you started a side project while doing something else that felt draining, and now the side project is kind of like coming to fruition. Some of you guys are in some kind of a long-term interpersonal like dispute about something. It just seems like there's one relationship in your home or something like that that is kind of like really on off. Like it's always kind of, there's a lot of kind of issues with it, and you're not going to solve them all today. You just kind of got to have that energy to keep going through it. In your deep past or your roots here, we have the Ace of Wands. Let me pull this Oracle card because I forgot while I kind of stew on that Ace of Wands there. Leo, you guys are also kind of coming through as my group that really indulges in that, the mystic, the creative, it's like artsy with a deeper meaning. Like there's something very kindred about you and some like art with kind of a touch of a sultry vibe, or just art through reality, where like reality can be quite sultry at times, and it's almost like you still find the beauty in that. I don't really know where else to go with that, so I'm just going to leave that there. Let's find the oracle card of Leo's dreams here. I don't know why I said it that way, sorry. Drum, and then the child down here. Let's read this. We're reading a lot in your reading, Leo, oddly enough. It's called a reading, and usually you don't actually read. You just scry. Okay, so the drum says, the drum invites you to take the next bold step into your journey. The forces of heaven and earth are aligned behind you, supporting effortless action. This is not a time to push against the river. The current will take you exactly where you want to go once you jump in. Collect your power tools and summon your courage, because it is going to be a wild and glorious journey. Allow yourself to be carried by the rhythm of what is really essential in your life. You travel to the beat of a different drum. It's time to acknowledge you do not fit a mold or role or relationship that is not in tune with you. Find your rhythm, respond to the heartbeat of the distant drum. The price you pay for lingering becomes higher with each passing day. Now is the time to move on. And I actually almost read that as now is the time to move out. We'll read the child's in a minute. Okay, Leo. So maybe this challenging relationship is something that you've been kind of going back and forth about. Let's see. Where you're coming from, 10 of fire, where you're going to 9 of fire. So where you're headed towards is like, there's a very personal battle that you're fighting here. And I feel like it's not so much about how you can defend yourself. It's not so much about trying to find your leg up in that battle. It's about how you recognize what kind of a ring you're in and what kind of a ring you're meant to be in that would suit you better, that you're built for. It almost seems like when I'm looking at these people that the person with the shield up is kind of like, I don't really know what we're doing, but it's not what I wanted to be doing today. And the other person's just like trying to prove a point. It seems more theatrical or something. And I feel like that could be maybe a relationship that you're involved in, or maybe just how you're feeling like someone's not in it because of their passion. They're in it because it's challenging or because it's, I don't know, and you're kind of like done with the challenge of it all. You're like, no, like we are at the point where we need to decide if we want to stay in this challenge. Like we're done showing each other what we got. We just need to make the decision. That's where I think your headspace is, which means that if the fire is the suit of action and it's towards where you're going, I feel like you're realizing this and you're going to make those decisions moving forward. Okay. In your environment is maybe your mother. Maybe there's a mom around you, or maybe there's someone with a mother wound around you. This could be quite good or quite bad. So I'll let you decide if it pertains to the relationship or not. I don't even want to read it that way because the Empress is such a beautiful thing. I don't even want to taint it. how about this? For some of you guys, the relationship that you're involved in might be something where you're realizing they cannot see their own issue, and it's not, you're just done trying to show it to them. You're done trying to lovingly show it to them. Like they're not in energy where they're willing to receive that or something. That's kind of all I'll say about that, because that's kind of all that's coming through if it is regarding a relationship. I think completely outside of that energy is someone in your environment is a loving mother, or is somebody who has a ton of creation about them. Maybe they're a Taurus. Maybe they're someone who has gone from like rags to riches. There's someone, and mother or father, when I say mother, sorry, they're just somebody who's very creative, very nurturing, very kind, very artistic, but also very grounded and responsible. And I feel like that's a good person to have in your corner. I wonder if some of you guys are trying to figure this out, who to work with, because that is the person that you're having issues with. But it's almost like they don't give you that energy when they're working with you, but that you know that that's who they are at their heart and soul. I don't know. I'm going to leave that there because I kind of, it's a lot. It's too much and unnecessary to process it in a way where it's not good to be around. I feel like if something just doesn't feel good to be around, don't be around them. But I feel like this is an energy where it's like the good energy could get lost in all the sauce because things go so smooth with them and there's problems with other people. And so I think this is like one of those reminders of like build up those good relationships and lean into them and like feed them and nurture the crap out of them. Because a lot of the times when we have problems going on, the problems get our attention more because we're worried about what would happen if we don't address them. And then all of our good relationships don't get fed in those times. And it's kind of just like, I wonder if maybe there's some headaches around that, and just there needs to be a reminder of like, go ahead and feed the good relationships. Like, you're not a bad person for leaning into what works in your life and leaning away from the things that are more turbulent and everything. It doesn't mean that you're not doing them, that you're not working through them. It just means that you don't want to dip below a certain threshold for yourself and then try to go deal with those things. You want to keep bringing yourself back up, and life will keep bringing you down. And then the goal is that you keep remembering to bring yourself back up, because it is an ongoing cycle. And that's kind of the dance with life, you know, that makes it worthwhile, is that you keep inserting things in there that make it worthwhile. How you're seeing yourself is starting out something new or learning about like a new job, a new career, a side project, a hobby, a craft. You're also bringing good news. I don't know where or who to or when, but you have like good news you're bringing. For some of you guys, you bring your overcoming obstacles energy to your environment that also needs to hear those things. And honestly, that feels like you're on the right track. Whenever you do that, it feels like everything's in place. Is when you do the work in your own alone time, you make those decisions for yourself, you see things playing out, you know what you figure out what to do with them. And then it's like there's a sense of community that you keep coming back to, or certain interpersonal relationships where you're able to talk about how you work through those things, and it just feels so beautiful and it feels like it's meant to be. And I just feel like that's something that that's a way that you would know you're kind of around the right people, is you feel the need to share your how you successfully made it through certain energies, because I think that they're either going through them too, or they've been through them, and having someone sit and talk about it is like a breath of fresh air for all of you. Like, you need to talk about it. They need to hear about it. They need to hear someone talking about it. There's a lot of things you're working through, and I feel like the energy isn't just done when you work through it. It's more so complete when you bring it to your community in some way. Hopes, dreams, fears. 5 of Cups. And that person is pregnant? I think your hope, Leo, is that you can move forward from the things that have like pained you and that have thrown you off course, and that people who have wronged you, things you've kind of endured because your heart has been in them. I think your hope here is that you're going to take the lessons with you and be able to release all of the trauma and the burden of how it all happened. And you're going to be able to pick up the lessons and the blessings and the turning over new leaves energy as you move forward. And like that's what's going to be sprinkled on your life sandwich every day. I feel like some of you guys are going through something where you're either in that hopeful energy, or you're learning that it's a realistic thing to hope for. The thing that this makes me think of is like when I started going to therapy with like, there was like a turning point where I found a therapist that kind of like spoke to me in my own language, and the other ones did not. And it was really difficult. It always just felt like a power struggle or something. And I'd be like, bruh, you need therapy too. Like, what are you doing in this seat? And then I found one that just like kind of I clicked with, and I feel like for the first time in a very long time, hold on. Okay, sorry. I feel like for the first time in a very long time, I actually believe it when someone says, when someone's saying things are gonna get better. Like, you don't have to live with all of this heaviness, and you don't have to live with all of what's happening or what's happened for the rest of your life. Like, there's ways to cope with it. There's ways to manage it. And the more that you implement these things, the better it's going to feel, the less heavy it's going to feel. And you're always going to need to manage some aspect of yourself, but it won't be the things that are heavy. It'll be like, if you manage your self-care, you will in turn be managing those things. And there's ways to kind of like reprogram your brain so that you don't have like a quick trigger to see the bad or the fear or whatever. Like, I feel like for the first time in a long time, I actually believe it when someone's saying that to me now. And that's kind of the energy I get from that card, is like, it's like things will get better, and it won't just be that the seasons change and things look different. Things could look the same, but you'll feel different. And I think that's kind of how you know it's working, you know? I think it is important to take the actions when you realize it's necessary to take them. Like, I don't think just changing your mindset is the only thing that needs to happen, but I do think that sometimes it just takes a minute for that to click, and then you'll feel a lot better, even if it's still scary or unknown, to start taking action on the new things, believing you deserve better, believing there's more out there for you, like all that stuff. And I feel like you're getting to that point with all of these, with all of kind of the way that you're really like pulsing with the universe right now and trying to pursue some kind of like a passion while rounding out some sense of an old style of a relationship that doesn't serve you. Just kind of like making room for more and for better, you know? I feel like that's really, that's like a big thing for you right now. And then the outcome here, 7 of Wands. That's the 3rd time this card has come out in 2 separate readings. The Knight of Cups. Huh. Some of you guys, your passion and your inspiration is attracting like somewhat of like a soulmate. I don't know, it's like there's one person that's really going to come into your life, and I feel like if you're really passionate, they're going to be super emotional. Or if you're really emotional, they're going to be super passionate. Like there's going to be some kind of a, it's like getting the best of both worlds, and you guys will be able to like translate to each other what's going on in a way that you can understand it from completely different perspectives. I want to pull more on that, because maybe that's someone that you're worried about. I wonder if there's someone you're wondering if you should cut off right now or you should continue things with. And I wonder if like when you think about it, it's easy to want to cut things off, but then when you engage with them and like talk about these deeper things within both of you, it actually makes a lot of sense to be there. Kind of feels like a story of like almost a friendship or a love situation where it doesn't seem like it'd work, but when both of you guys are being vulnerable and like raw and honest with each other and just like kind of bearing your soul to one another, it's like fast friends, or you receive a level of support you've never received anywhere else. It feels good though, but it's almost like there needs to be a certain purpose to that relationship for it to feel good, or else it just starts you're in different worlds. Maybe that's a certain relationship that you have right now where you guys are in very different worlds, and there's a world that you can come together in, that where things make sense there. If that's not for you particularly, then I think that the outcome of this is a heightened sense of inspiration and charisma within your work situation or your interpersonal relationships, like particularly maybe one. But it does seem like an increase of inspiration and passion overall, an increase in vitality and energy, and also an ability to share that in a really smooth way, in a really charming way too, and in a way where people feel love because your cup is overflowing with it yourself. It just feels natural and it feels right for it to be there. So now let's read. Ooh, okay, we have the Child, but I kind of want to read Council. Let's see if anything stands out in Council, or let's go with Child first. 7-11. Child is number 7. The Child knows the way to joy and happiness. The Child offers the return of a second innocence, a time born of wisdom and not of naivete. This cloud, I'm tired. This card allows you to correct your course and offers you a second chance. It brings you the possibility of redemption and entering heaven while on earth. The child is here to release you from the habit of being yourself and to help you acquire a beginner's mind so that you can see life as if for the first time. Remain open to learning and discovery. Who is your spouse or partner today? Can you see them with fresh eyes? Who is looking back at you in the mirror this morning? Become a mystery unto yourself and reconnect with a sense of childlike wonder. The child comes to show you how you can correct the course of your life without being punished. Set yourself free from your conditioning for suffering. You were born unfettered and happy and can be so again if you make the choice. The child will help you climb out of the hole you may have dug yourself into to recover your sense of play. And then we have the Council and the Rainmaker. See, the problem with reading tarot is that it's so easy to get messages off the cards that sometimes setting a limit and saying like, okay, like it's enticing, but I know I'm going to just drain my energy if I go through every single one of these, and just, it's exciting, but I need to like, maybe that's what it is. Sometimes things can be so exciting that everything feels like it's worth digging into, but those end up being kind of the holes we dig ourselves into. And sometimes it's just about remembering the thing we're led to and just taking action on that. And remembering why we took action on that is because we were in a difficult spot and that seemed like a breath of fresh air to move towards. So I'm going to just look at the Council because now the card is standing back out to me the same way that it was when I remember why I wanted to pick it up in the first place. And then I think I'm just going to read the invitation and just the medicine here. You are never alone. Turn to the Council to find the guidance you seek and listen to the voice that arises spontaneously. Turn a deaf ear to that nagging voice from your ego that tells you that you are not up for the task before you. Create a spiritual feast for the Council. Invite them to your altar every time you meditate or pray. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys' reading, Leo. Thank you so much for being here. A big happy birthday to you all. And I will see you in another video. Bye, guys.